Thanks again for your patience. Yeah, as Cal was saying, you don't have freedom if you don't have freedom in your body. And that was something that I began to realize at a very young age. I got into the field of healthcare because I had known health complaints that conventional medicine didn't have answers for. I was dealing with chronic fatigue, widespread aches and pains, and I had experience with chiropractic, and it offered me a little bit of benefit, more so than anything conventional medicine was offering me. Massage therapy did the same thing, and I ended up enrolling in chiropractic because I had to figure it out, because I knew that nobody else in the system was going to figure it out for me. So ultimately, as I got into chiropractic, I found my way into something called applied kinesiology, which is an integrative system that brings in concepts of chiropractic, Chinese medicine, naturopathy, and various forms of energetic medicine. Through all of that, I began to understand that I was dealing with Lyme disease, which is really a breakdown of the immune system, accumulation of toxicity, mixed with emotional trauma. It's pretty much got everything in terms of illness. And so I had to work my way through that. And so that's my background. And about a year and a half ago, if I can get this to work. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is my background. But about a year and a half ago, I went on a cruise to Alaska with my mom and one of her friends, and I happened to run into my partner here, Dr. Veras, and Dr. Veras had told me that about a month ago, prior to meeting her, she was hospitalized for 10 days because she had kidney stones and she was dealing with sepsis, which is a systemic blood infection. Now, a couple weeks after her bout with all of that, she was on the most popular television show in Mexico talking about G-spot activation. So she's just relaying all this information to me, and you know, I'm thinking, wow, this woman is talking about this amazing thing. I have my doubts that people are going to remember her name, because she's telling me right now, and I just met her, and I'm like, I don't remember her name. So I thought, you know what, you got to call yourself Dr. G-Spot, because I don't think anybody here is going to forget Dr. G-Spot, right? So that's how the name came up, right? And anyway, so while I'm getting to know her, I ended up telling her about some of the things that I do, and I ended up checking her out, doing my voodoo, right? And I find that, you know what, it looks like you've got some E. coli, you're dealing with candida, you've got some liver toxicity, colon toxicity. I think I can help you. And so I ended up putting on a protocol to help clear all that stuff out. And, you know, her focus was primarily on the external. But through her experience with me, she began to realize just how important it is to take care of the internal as well. And so this was her at age 30, and that's her now. And it's been a combination of working on things internally and as well as externally. And so, you know, when she's telling me what she does, she's like, well, you know, one of the other things that I do this 10 years less program. And she shows me this picture of a before and after of this guy who's like, I think he's 62, is that right? Is he 62? Yeah, he's 62 years old. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible, you know? And I'm 46 right now, and I'll admit I'm a little vain. And I started to notice that I'm showing some signs of aging that I don't really care for that much, but I'm not a big fan of Botox, so I said, well, you know, if you want to do something like that for me, I'm game, but you can't do any Botox. So anyway, she did, and I'm really happy with the results that she's done for me. And so we're partnering up now, I'm formulating products and protocols to facilitate detoxification, and she is taking care of the external, and her emphasis is on this whole G-spot activation, which I'm going to let her tell you all about it right now. But it's much more about healing than it is just sexuality. The implications for what she's doing, I believe, are world-changing. I really do. In time, people are going to figure out just what she's onto. So you guys are here at a special time to see the birth of Dr. G-Spot and what she's creating. So here's my partner, Dr. Evelyn Veras.
Gracias a todos ustedes, los que están aquí, presentes. Bueno, ¿sí? Okay.
Thank you to all of you that are present here with us.
Sí. Para mí es un placer estar aquí y poder comunicar esta información, que es una información que viene desde el alma, que viene del corazón, porque se ha convertido en nuestra misión de vida.
I'm really happy to be here, really excited to present this because it's something that comes from the heart, from the soul to
Misión de vida.
it's my life's mission.
Sí, cuando yo conocí a Matthew en Alaska,
When I met Matthew in Alaska,
yo conocí la importancia de verme menos 10 años.
I recognized the importance of looking 10 years younger.
Pero al igual que muchos de nosotros, no conocía la importancia de sentirme menos 10 años.
But
Okay, yes. Okay, you can hear me? Yes. Okay, it's true. Good idea. Excelente idea. It's good for me too. Okay. So, cuando conocí a Matthew,
when I met Matthew
exactamente, en Alaska.
in Alaska,
No sé, pero es que me impresiona decir su nombre una y otra
I
vez.
get really impressed to say his name over and over again.
Platicaba con Matthew de que todos
I
los
was talking
días
to him about how every day
yo veía
I would see
pacientes
patients
de mi consulta
in my office
con un alma triste.
with a sad soul.
Exactamente. Querían lucir menos
They
10
wanted to
años,
look 10 years younger,
pero cuando
but
veía sus miradas,
when
sus
you would
ojos,
see their eyes,
al lucir menos 10 años,
when they wanted to look 10 years younger,
yo sentía algo increíble en el fondo
I
de
could
mi
feel
alma.
something really special in the deepest part of my soul
Como ese escultor que
Like in a
dice,
sculpture
wow, mira,
that looks at a piece.
esto no es solamente algo físico,
This is not just something physical.
esto es algo que
This is
trasciende
something
más
that
allá.
transcends beyond.
Es un alma
It's a soul,
pura,
pure,
en amor,
in love,
en alegría,
in joy,
que quiere reflejar
that
fuera.
wants to reflect
lo
that
que tiene
outside, what
dentro.
they have inside of themselves.
Y es aquí
And it is here
cuando
when
el programa
this
Dr. G-Spot
program, Dr. G-Spot,
no solo se convirtió
It's
en un
not
programa
just
de menos 10
a
años,
program for to look 10 years younger,
sino que se convirtió
It
en un
became
programa
a
de
program
plenitud sexual.
of sexual plenitude.
Porque estas mismas pacientes
These same patients
tenían algo en común
had
todas,
something in common, all of them,
de lo cual yo no estaba fuera de,
and I was part of it too,
porque yo también soy mujer.
because I'm a woman also.
Tenían frustración,
Frustrations they
porque
had,
nunca antes habían
because they
sentido
had
un
never
orgasmo
experienced
en punto G
a
vaginal.
G-spot orgasm.
Estaban viviendo
They were
insatisfacción
living
sexual.
without being satisfied sexually.
Y es ahí cuando surgió
And
la
it is
idea
then when the idea came up
de crear una
to
técnica
create a technique,
que hemos denominado
that we've called
activación de punto G,
G-spot activation,
con el objetivo
with the objective
de poder lograr
to be able to make
que
it
esta mujer pueda tener un orgasmo
that this lady
en punto
could have an
G
orgasm
vaginal.
through the G-spot, through the vagina.
Y Matthew y yo
Matthew and I,
creemos
we believe
que la mejor forma de
that the
transformar
best
la
way to
vida de otro ser
transform
humano
another person's life
es transformar
is
nuestra propia vida.
to transform our own lives.
Es ahí donde nos
It is there
convertimos en
when we
nuestros propios
became
pacientes.
our own
Menos
patients,
10 años,
minus 10 years,
pero también en nuestros
but
propios
also
pacientes para
our
poder
patients to be
experimentar
able to experiment
salud sexual,
sexual health,
plenitud sexual.
plentiful.
Y al igual que apliqué la
And
técnica
just
de
like I
G-spot
applied
activation
these techniques of G-spot activation
en mis pacientes,
with my patients,
apliqué
I
también la
applied
técnica
those on myself.
para poder mirar
To
a
be
mis
able to
pacientes
look
a
at
los
my patients
ojos
in the
y
eye
poder
and be
entender lo
able to
que cada
understand
mujer
what every
estaba
woman was
experimentando
experiencing
al mismo
at the same
tiempo.
time.
Estamos viendo que era
We
una
are seeing
técnica
that this was a
que
technique
transformaba
that
vidas,
transformed lives,
porque después de esta
because
técnica
after this technique,
las mujeres
women
comenzaban a tener
they started having
mayor amor por sí mismas,
more love for themselves,
la alegría de ser ellas
the joy
mismas,
to be themselves.
identificaban que eran únicas y especiales
They identified that they were unique and special,
y entendían la
and they were able to
importancia
understand the importance
de reconocer y
to
aceptar el
recognize
balance en
and
su vida,
accept the balance in their lives,
de integrar el
to
amor
integrate love
y placer,
and pleasure,
pasión,
passion,
porque muchas de
because
ellas,
a lot of them,
al igual que yo,
just like me,
al igual que tú,
just like
cada
you,
mujer que está
every
aquí,
woman that's here,
olvidó ser
we
mujer en
forgot to be
alguna
a
etapa
woman
de
at
su
some
vida.
point in our lives.
Eres madre,
You're a mom,
eres esposa,
you're a wife,
eres excelente
you're
profesional,
an excellent professional,
pero no pasaste por una escuela del
but you
placer
didn't go to a pleasure school,
y te has tenido que dar a
and
topes
you've had to stumble
una y otra
once
vez,
and twice and many times
¿ok? Para poder
to
integrar
be able to integrate
vivir la
and live
experiencia
the experience
de un dulce
of a sweet
orgasmo.
orgasm,
El milagro de poder
the miracle
experimentar
of being able to experiment and
dulce
experience a sweet
orgasmo en tu
orgasm
vida,
in your
en punto
life
G
with a
vaginal.
G-spot through your vagina.
Y tuvimos en esta gráfica
In this graph we have
dos parejas
two couples
donde
where
hay algo importante que ustedes pueden
there's
identificar.
something important that you
Y
can
esto que
identify.
pueden identificar
What can
es
you identify?
insatisfacción sexual. Pero
You
si lo
cannot
ven,
be
ambos están
satisfied
mirando hacia
sexually.
polos
But
diferentes.
if you're seeing it from different points,
Es la causa número uno de
it's the
divorcio a nivel
first
mundial.
cause of divorce worldwide.
Falta de comunicación.
Lack of communication.
Donde
Where,
cuando hay falta de
when
comunicación,
there's a lack of communication,
yo no puedo expresar
I cannot express myself.
que me gusta,
What do I like?
que no me gusta.
What I don't like.
Pero sobre todo no tengo el
But most
valor
importantly, I don't feel brave
de
enough
poderle decir a esa
to be
persona
able to tell my partner
quién soy yo.
who I am.
Porque yo no
Because
me amo.
I don't love myself.
Porque la mejor
Because
forma
the best
de
way
encontrar el
to
amor
really find
incondicional,
unconditional love,
el verdadero amor,
true love,
pero sobre todo conectar alma con
but to be able
alma,
to connect soul with soul,
es amarme yo
is to
primero.
love myself first.
Todo lo que estamos aquí,
Everybody here,
estoy sumamente segura
I'm really sure
de que queremos
that
experimentar
we want to experience
no solo una conexión de cuerpo,
not just a body
es una conexión
experience,
de alma y
but
de
a soul
espíritu.
connection and
Y
spirit
eso
connection.
ocurre cuando
that only
nosotros
happens when
unificamos el punto G
We're able
vaginal
to connect with the G-spot in the
Hablando del
vagina,
cuerpo.
speaking in the body,
y lo conectamos con
and
el
we
pene,
connect that
con el falo
with the
masculino.
penis, with the phallus.
En este momento,
In this
juntos,
moment,
ambos vamos a experimentar
We
un
both
clima de la
experience
felicidad.
climax of
Es
happiness.
el éxtasis
It's an
orgásmico
ecstasy of orgasm,
que expresa libertad y
and it
alegría,
expresses happiness and freedom,
pero que expresa un alma
but it expresses a soul
que está lista para
that is
desnudarse,
ready to bear itself,
para ser
to be, to
y
become,
entregarse en toda su
and to give
totalidad.
itself in its totality.
Y aquí vemos algo
Here
importante.
we see something very important.
70% de todas las
70%
mujeres a
of all
nivel
the
mundial
women worldwide,
están experimentando
they're
anorgasmia.
experiencing anorgasmic. They're not having orgasms.
Nunca antes han
Never.
sentido un
They've
orgasmo
never
en punto
experienced
G
a
vaginal.
G-spot orgasm.
Esto es algo muy, muy importante.
This is something really important.
Pueden haber experimentado orgasmo clitoriano,
They may have experienced an orgasm through the
pero
clitoris,
nunca han
but
experimentado
never
un
have they
orgasmo en
experienced
punto
a
G
G-spot
vaginal. Y esto no
orgasm.
tenga que ver con que soy estadounidense.
This has nothing to do with being in the United States.
Yo soy dominicana.
I am from the Dominican Republic.
Encontramos de todas las razas
We find in all the races,
y coincidimos en lo mismo.
and we have the same thing in
No
common.
estábamos
We
experimentando
were not
orgasmos en
experiencing
punto G vaginal.
orgasms through the G-spot.
Entonces, mis
So
pacientes lo
my
confirman.
patients confirmed that for me.
Las revistas lo
The
confirman.
magazines confirmed that.
Es un problema
It's a
mundial.
problem, worldwide problem.
Entonces, ¿qué vamos a
So
hacer?
what are we going to do?
Esto es una responsabilidad de la mujer,
This is a woman's responsibility,
pero también es
but also
responsabilidad del hombre.
It's a man's responsibility.
Porque estamos hablando
Because
de
we are
dos.
talking about two people.
No es una sola
It's
persona.
not just one person.
Es una conexión.
It's a connection.
Este 30% que
This
nunca antes
30% that
ha experimentado
have never felt an orgasm.
es en ninguna parte del cuerpo.
And nowhere in the
No
body.
clítoris,
No clitoris, no
en ninguna
vaginal.
parte. Es decir,
Not at all.
mujeres
So
robots.
women that are robots,
Estamos muertas
that are dead,
porque tenemos miedo a
because we are
sentir.
so afraid to feel.
Sí. Ahora,
Now,
67% han
67%
tenido que mentir
have
algunas
had to
veces en su
fake
vida
sometimes their orgasm.
A ver, hombres que están aquí,
Men here,
¿ustedes qué van a hacer al respecto?
what are you going to do about that?
Ahorita vamos a visualizar
We're going to visualize
que
right
hay
now
factores que
that there are
intervienen
factors
que una
that
mujer no
intervene
pueda tener un orgasmo en punto G
that
vaginal.
women sometimes cannot have vaginal orgasms.
La próxima vez que tu mujer te diga,
Next time your woman tells you,
no he tenido un orgasmo,
I haven't had an orgasm,
presta atención.
pay attention.
Eso. Give me five. Exacto, presta atención.
So
Porque
pay
si no
attention.
prestas atención
Because
a
if you don't pay
esto,
attention to this,
el hombre es muy fácil de decir,
man,
es
it's
tu
really easy to say,
responsabilidad.
well, it's your responsibility.
Ah, sí, claro.
Oh, yeah.
Sí.
Mhm.
Yo como mujer tengo que
As
aceptar
a
la
woman,
responsabilidad
I
de
have to
autoexplorarme.
take responsibility that I have to explore myself
¿Ok? Y conocer mi cuerpo.
and to be able to know my body.
Esa es mi
That
responsabilidad.
is my responsibility.
Y esa responsabilidad se
And
la hemos
that
dejado al
responsibility,
hombre.
we put it on the man.
La mujer siempre
The woman
ha soñado con el príncipe.
Always dreams about the charming Prince Charming,
Hey, la llave perfecta.
the perfect key.
Aquí está tu punto G.
Here's your G-spot.
Y si el hombre no
And if a
encuentra tu
man
punto
can't
G,
find a G-spot,
no es buen hombre. No es buen hombre.
it's not a good man, right?
Right. Ok. Entonces,
So
ok, no es bueno. Exacto. Yo tengo que aceptar mi
You have
responsabilidad de
to
autoexplorarme.
explore yourself and take the responsibility
Y
for
saber
that.
dónde está mi
And to
punto G.
know where my G-spot is.
Sí, pero es responsabilidad del hombre
But it's also the man's responsibility
ayudarme en el
to
proceso
help me in the
de
process,
identificarme
to
como mujer
identify myself as a woman
y entender
and to understand
mi cuerpo,
my own body,
porque soy una mujer que tiene alma
because I'm a woman and I have a
y
soul
tenemos cambios lunares.
and we have our moon also.
Okay. Sumamente importante.
This is an important moment.
Ahora, vamos a ver. Importante.
Something important here.
39%
39%,
tiene orgasmo mediante el proceso de masturbación.
they have orgasms through masturbation.
Es decir, del 100% de las mujeres a
So,
nivel mundial,
out of 100% of women,
solo 39%
only 39%
estamos tomando la
are
responsabilidad
taking responsibility
de autoconocernos.
to get to know each other or ourselves.
¿Ok? Porque solo cuando yo me
Because
reconozco,
only when I recognize myself,
yo puedo decirle a
I
mi
can
pareja,
tell my partner,
esto me gusta,
this is what I like.
esto no me gusta.
I don't like this,
¿Ok?
right?
Ok, soy caliente,
This is hot,
soy fría,
this is cold,
aquí me gusta, aquí no
I
me
like it
gusta.
here, I don't like it here.
Es parte, es un juego.
It's a game.
El sexo
Sex
debe verse como un juego.
has to be seen as a game.
Ni gano ni pierdo nada.
You don't win or lose,
Debo ir para jugar.
but you just go to play.
Es un lugar de relajación,
It's a place for relaxation,
pero es el mejor lugar de comunicación.
but it's the best place for communication.
La gráfica está pasando lenta.
He's going to help it. No,
Okay.
arrow.
Ok,
There.
thank you. Entonces,
So,
el hombre debe saber
the man has to know that there are different factors that intervene in their lack of satisfaction sexually.
y estos factores
These
son factores
factors
emocionales,
are
factores
emotional,
físicos,
physical,
factores sociales,
social,
pero el más
but
importante
the most
es
important
ignorar mi
is
cuerpo,
ignorance of the body.
solamente ser un robot
I'm just a robot.
y olvidarme de haber
And
sentido
to forget about feeling
woman,
a woman.
porque un problema importante que he
Because that's an
encontrado
important problem that we
es que
found.
debido a que los roles han sido cambiados,
It's because a lot of times we switch roles.
la mujer está conectada con
The
el
woman
alma,
is connected to the man
con energía
with the
masculina,
masculine energy,
no con energía femenina,
not with the feminine energy.
es una energía que
It's
recibe,
energy that receives.
¿ok? Es una energía sensual,
It's a sensual energy.
Es una energía de placer continuo.
Pleasure, continuous pleasure. You are connected with the universe and with yourself. The emotional part of the woman, maybe she has traumas from childhood. And when this happens, you don't allow to have a connection because you are remembering at every moment those instances. The physical factors you can have, maybe after giving birth, where the scars cut the circulation in the vagina, the atrophy. And if you don't have a normal sensibility, the nerve is not alive. You're not going to feel an orgasm. Social factors here, very many that are important. The second one most important in the divorce worldwide, economic factor. So, the man gives, the woman receives. And it has to be mutual. I give, you receive, and you receive and I give, and vice versa. And it's important to connect this, giving and receiving, because we all have that energy, feminine energy, and masculine energy. But we have to accept your body as a woman in this body. It's extremely important to be able to activate the goddess within.
Slide.
Yeah, thank you, brother. What are the benefits of an orgasm? We're wondering, right? We can deceive mortality rate by 50%. Improves blood flow. Releases hormones of happiness. Improves oxygenation in my brain. So I'm going to think better. It's an analgesic, natural analgesic. This decreases stress like nothing else. It will improve your skin. Your vaginal muscles will have more strength every time. Right? When you practice makes perfect, right? You will burn 200 calories, and you will increase your confidence between you and your partner. Thank you. Here, a lot of people ask, where is the G-spot? Where is it? Is it taboo? Does it even exist? Is it true? Well, it is. I can tell you, in my experience, the G-spot does exist. This, according to science, it is found at 1.5 centimeters in the entrance, right after the clitoris. And other people say 15 centimeters, the entire anterior walls of the vagina. Let's agree with this. Grafenberg, many years ago, said it's at 1.5 centimeters. It's very close to the entrance. I just stick my fingers in. I press with my index and middle finger, and I find it. I have to press to be able to find it. Now science says these days, wow, this is a very complex point. Who said that women were easy? The G-spot is not easy either. Just like your nipples, it's maybe a little bit farther to the right, to the left, higher, maybe lower. And that's why it's very difficult for couples to connect sometimes. In my experience, personal experience, this is where I started going away from science here, because truly, even if your vagina can be so sensitive, it's probable that it's not on the right side or the left side or in front, but it's so up that it's pretty feasible that if you don't know where your G-spot is, how is the man going to find it?
Harry Potter. ¿Qué dice Albert? Harry Potter puede ayudar.
Harry Potter can help you.
Entonces, indiscutiblemente es importante.
Unequivocally, it's important.
Y muchas mujeres lo
And
tienen
a
a
lot of
nivel
women
posterior.
have it in the posterior.
Es ahí donde viene a salvar
And then it's where it comes to saying
la activación de
the
punto G
activation of the
vaginal.
G-spot in the vagina.
¿Sí? Y hay cosas muy
Just, there are
interesantes.
things that are very
El
interesting.
punto G vaginal
G-spot in the vagina
es como un músculo.
is like a muscle.
Si no lo uso,
If you don't use it,
se atrofia.
it can atrophy.
Está muerto.
It's dead.
¿Ok?
All right?
Yo también estoy muerta.
I am dead too if that
Y debo
happens.
darle vida
I
a ese
have to
punto
give
G.
it life to that
Entonces,
G-spot.
es aquí donde yo acepto el
It's here
50% de
when
responsabilidad.
I take 50% of the responsibility
Regeneramos el
to
punto G,
regenerate the G-spot.
pero después la
But
mujer necesita
afterwards, the
aceptar la
woman needs
responsabilidad
to accept the
de que
responsibility.
debe
She
comenzar
needs
a romper tabúes y traumas.
to break taboos and
Dentro
traumas
de ellos,
inside themselves,
la autoexploración.
the self-exploration,
Para que este músculo
to be
tenga
able to
vida.
have this muscle back to
Porque
life.
está rico de 8.000
Because it has about 8,000 nervous endings. It's rich in
Ahora bien,
information.
cuando tengo exactamente un orgasmo,
When I have an orgasm,
es importante
it's important to
reconocer
recognize
que la vagina se
that the vagina
contrae, se
contracts
hace
and
30%
it
más
becomes
pequeña,
30% smaller.
lo cual al hombre le encanta.
And what men love
Cuando las mujeres le hacemos la técnica de
when
punto G vaginal,
women do this technique,
al mismo tiempo
at the
podemos
same
hacer un
time,
cierre
we can
de lo
close
que
it,
es
clamp
la
it.
vaginal sin cirugía.
without surgery.
Exactamente.
Right.
Pues el músculo
The
se
muscle.
rejuvenece.
Yeah, but strengthens and becomes younger again.
El músculo, exactamente. Por ende,
And
vamos a poder
therefore,
contraer
we'll be able
mucho
to
mejor.
contract it better.
Y por sí solo,
And by
elimina
itself,
fluidos
it
y
eliminates
bacterias.
fluids and
Es un
bacteria.
mecanismo de limpieza natural.
It's a natural cleaning system.
Esta gráfica es sumamente importante.
This graphic is extremely important
¿Por qué?
because
Porque la ciencia
Science
sigue investigando y
keeps
dice,
exploring
¿qué voy a hacer con la mujer?
what am I going to do with women?
No deja de sorprenderme.
They don't stop surprising me.
Y aquí encontré en la
Here I
literatura,
found in
y es algo
literature,
frustrante,
and it's something very frustrating.
dice,
It says,
¿por qué preocuparte?
why do you even worry?
Si tú puedes tener orgasmo clitoriano,
If you can have an
¿por qué
orgasm
vas
through
a
your clitoris,
rejuvenecer tu punto G
why do
vaginal?
you need to rejuvenate your G-spot?
Pero si nos vamos a la anatomía real,
But if we go to the real anatomy,
de cuando tienes un orgasmo a
when you
nivel
have
de
an
clítoris,
orgasm in your clitoris,
a cuando tienes un orgasmo
versus
a nivel de tu punto G
the
vaginal,
G-point,
resulta
if
que
it
el
happens
efecto a
that the
nivel cerebral
effect
es
in your
totalmente
brain
diferente.
is extremely different.
Cuando tienes un
When
orgasmo
you
a
have
nivel
an orgasm
clitoriano,
with your clitoris,
toda la energía
all the energy
del orgasmo
of the orgasm
se queda en el
stays
pélvico
in that
y se
place.
extiende a
It
nivel
expands
anal.
just towards your anus.
¿Ok?
Okay?
Que se quede esta información aquí.
Keep that in your
Es sumamente
information.
importante.
It's extremely important.
Cuando yo tengo un orgasmo
When I
a nivel
have an
vaginal,
orgasm
en el
through the
punto G
G-spot,
vaginal, resulta que el
it
nervio
happens
vago
that the
es un nervio
nervous,
parasimpático,
it's a
un nervio
parasympathetic,
de estimulación,
and it stimulates,
va a llevar toda esta
and it takes all that
información hacia
information
mi estómago,
all the way to my stomach,
diafragma,
diaphragm,
hacia mi corazón,
and towards my heart,
hacia mi tallo cerebral
my talon and my brain.
y llegará hasta la dura madre,
And it will get to all the way to the brain
que
of
es
the
un
mother,
neurotransmisor
which is a neurotransmitter
que lleva información
that
de todo lo que es
sends
el sistema
information
cerebral.
to the entire nervous system.
Entonces, si realmente quieres
So, if
experimentar
I
el
really
Big
want to
Bang
experience the Big Bang
que ocurre
that
cuando
happens
ocurre un orgasmo,
when
en
an
el
orgasm
punto G
takes
vaginal,
place in the G-spot,
se conecta
it
con el
connects with your penis.
pene. Estamos hablando
We are
realmente
talking about
de una conexión
a
que no
connection
solo es cuerpo.
that is not just body.
Estamos hablando de una conexión
We're
álmica.
talking about a connection
Estamos
beyond.
hablando
We're
de la
talking
real
about
alquimia.
the alchemy, real alchemy.
En este proceso,
In this process,
muero,
I die,
pero vuelvo a la vida.
but I come back to life
Un segundo.
in 1 second.
Yo me transformo
I transform,
y tú te
and you
transformas.
transform.
Eso es algo maravilloso,
That is
¿no?
something wonderful, isn't it?
Entonces la conexión que
That is the
ocurre
connection that takes
es
place.
mucho mayor en las parejas.
It's much more stronger with couples.
No en esperar tantos divorcios.
You wouldn't have to have so many divorces.
No es tan fácil esperar tantas parejas que no se comprenden.
There's a lot of reasons why there are a lot of couples don't understand each other.
Aquí hemos encontrado la
Here,
respuesta.
we found the answer.
Ok. Sí. Próximo. Ahora, otra información sumamente
Another
importante
information that's extremely important. When the man and the woman are experiencing an orgasm, both of them are experiencing it in the same brain waves. However, after the man has the orgasm, there are brain zones that get turned off in the man. But with the woman, they keep activated. And that explains why when a man has his first orgasm, the genital areas are not responsive. Let's not waste our time. Here, there is one benefit that we have to have after this, right? The woman can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 20, 40, 50. Orgasms. It's like, let's clap for that. So we are the ones that give birth. We give life. It's time to end the war between men and women. The man is the one that gives the idea. The woman receives the idea and gives life to that information. Is that not a good business? If not, ask Matt. In this graph, we can see a factor that is very important worldwide. What's affecting that women cannot have a G-spot orgasm. This factor is called fibrosis. The fibrosis is nothing more than collagen shrinking, where there is fat that got old, there is swollen parts around it, and then there are nerves that are connected. So imagine that my hand is fibrosis, and this is my nerve. Fibrosis catches the nerve like this, and therefore I cannot feel an orgasm. But it's the same reason why a woman can have pain or can have a lot of pain. Hypersensitivity or an orgasm so strong and so fast that sometimes it causes pain. And how did we discover this? In 2003, we did a publication and we were studying fibrosis. Yes. This happens after you put implants in your breasts. We discovered that there is a factor, genetic factor, in 50% of population worldwide. This factor is called TGF-beta1. This factor, transforming factor, is responsible that makes fibrosis take place. But who hasn't taken medication? Analgesics, anti-inflammatories. All of that kills your defense mechanisms that your organism has to be able to form something important that is called collagenous type 4 that is responsible to regeneration, continuous regeneration. So sadly, we don't have a way to regenerate this. Here is what science tells us to unify with the spiritual world. It's important to accept the techniques and the advancements of science. In this other graph, we see a problem important that reflects relaxation, syndrome of vaginal relaxation that all women in the world will experience at some point. They lose water, protein, fat, and muscles. They get weakened. Therefore, the G-spot that ought to be, for instance, about this big, we see that the G-spot becomes that size. It's a smaller, reduced in size. It is here where the
la técnica de G-spot activation,
where we apply this G-spot activation,
en la tasa de efectividad es un 99%.
it's a 99% effective.
Porque lo que hacemos
Because
es
what we do
convertir
is
este punto G que
convert
está
that
pequeño,
small G-spot
agrandarlo,
and make it bigger
para que al momento de
to
la
be able
penetración,
to penetration,
cuando entre en contacto el pene,
when the penis enters in contact with the vagina,
ocurra el contacto de roce
the friction happens,
y puede ocurrir el orgasmo
and you can have an
a nivel del
orgasm
punto G vaginal.
with the G-spot
Y sobre
vaginal.
todo si está posterior.
And therefore, if it's in the
Porque algunas
posterior side,
posiciones no
because some
funcionan.
positions don't even work.
Y aquí
Here
tenemos
we have
un regalo
a gift
que nos hemos dado a nosotros.
that we
ustedes.
give ourselves and to you,
99% efectiva, la técnica
99%
de
effective.
activación
The
de punto
activation
G.
of
Una
G-spot,
técnica con
a
la que
technique
podemos
that we
crearlo,
can create,
aumentarlo
make it grow,
o regenerarlo
or regenerate
por las causas que acabamos de
because of the
mencionar
causes that we
anteriormente.
talked about.
Y usted se preguntará,
Maybe
pero ahora,
you're
¿cómo lo
wondering,
haces?
how do you
¿Dónde
do
está la
it?
técnica?
Where is
¿Qué
the
podemos
technique?
hacer?
What can I do?
Bien. Esta es una técnica totalmente
This is a
rápida,
technique that is
sencilla,
fast, easy,
efectiva, en
effective.
manos expertas.
With expert hands, we can be in the
Es
office,
cara a cara.
face to face.
Es una técnica que se aplica de una forma totalmente
It's
personalizada.
completely personalized to you
Porque no solamente
because
hacemos la aplicación
it's
de
not
punto
just
G,
the application of
sino que
G-spot,
trabajamos
but
en
we
abrir
work to open
el corazón
the heart
de nuestros pacientes
of our patients
para que pueda haber
to be able to
una
see
verdadera conexión,
a real connection,
una verdadera sanación,
a true healing,
no solo del cuerpo,
not just in your body,
sino también del alma.
but also your soul.
La duración de esta técnica puede ser entre unos 30
It lasts
minutos
between
a
30
una hora
minutes
la
to an
aplicación.
hour.
Los productos que utilizamos
The
son
products that we
biocompatibles
use are
totalmente, o de
biocompatibles
regeneración para atacar todo lo que
to be able
mencionamos,
to attack all the
como
things that we
son
mentioned,
fibrosis, el
fibrosis
envejecimiento.
and
Sin embargo,
aging.
uno de los más
But
utilizados
one of
es
the
el
most
ácido
used
hialurónico.
is hyaluronic acid. Do you know it?
¿Qué es un producto? ¿Usted lo
It's
conoce?
do you guys
¿El
know
ácido
it?
hialurónico?
Sí.
¿Sí?
It's in all your tissues.
Ok. O sea, que es totalmente seguro.
This is completely
Su función
safe,
principal es
and its
aportar
primary
agua,
function is to regenerate and to add water,
exactamente, aportar la cantidad de proteínas necesarias
proteins
para
necessary
que la regeneración.
for the generation of collagen,
Exactamente, y aportar el
and
volumen,
to be able
el músculo
to
puede
add
contraer
volume,
mucho
and then the
mayor.
muscle can contract stronger.
Ahora, una vez aplicado, usted se
Once you
preguntará,
apply that,
¿queda
you're like,
activado el punto
well,
G?
is the G-spot activated now?
Sí.
Yes.
Queda activado
It continues
hasta
to
que
be
el proceso de
activated
envejecimiento,
until the
3,
aging
5,
part,
6, 7 años,
3, 4,
puede
5,
atacarlo
7
otra
years,
vez.
it starts to make it decrease again. If you want to experiment,
Orgasmos intensos, sí,
intense orgasms that last a long time,
lo más importante
what's most important?
exactamente es que, bueno, probablemente vamos a tener que aplicar la
Probably
técnica
we're going to
otra
have to
vez.
apply the technique again.
Significa que
It
perdiste
means
otra
that
vez
you
agua,
lost water,
grasa,
fat,
proteína,
protein again,
y eso hará que
and
tengas
it's time
orgasmos
to be
intensos
able
y
to
duraderos.
have orgasms that are intense and long-lasting.
¿Qué identifiqué yo
What did
después
I
de 3 años
identify
de
after
haberme
3 years
autoexplorado
after doing this to myself?
y utilizando radiofrecuencia,
I used radio frequency,
láser,
laser,
diferentes tecnologías,
different technologies,
hormonas,
hormones,
células madres,
mother cells.
que no existe otra técnica a
There's
nivel
no
mundial
other technique worldwide
con la cual la mujer pueda
where a
tener
woman can have
aumento de la libido,
high libido,
multiorgasmia,
multi-orgasmic,
por lo que ustedes escucharon que explicamos,
for what you already heard that we explained,
aumento en intensidad.
and increasing the intensity and the duration of the orgasm.
Incluso esto lo podemos probar
Also, we
porque
can also prove this
al momento de
because
la aplicación,
at the time of the application,
la paciente,
the patient,
y ustedes pueden ver
you can
videos
see
en
a video
si
in
ponen
YouTube,
Dr.
if you can see, look for Dr. G-spot.
Las pacientes refieren que al momento de la aplicación,
Where
algunas
the
experimentan
patients
orgasmos
experiment
de varios
orgasms when we
minutos,
apply
2
it
minutos,
from
3,
1, 2, 3, 4 minute
El
long.
orgasmo más alto que hemos
The
tenido al momento de la
long-lasting
aplicación
orgasm that
son
we've applied
12
is
minutos.
12 minutes.
Ahora, esto se hace
So you do this.
desde un punto de responsabilidad,
This is your point of responsibility, connecting with all your love,
visualizando cada mujer
visualization, every woman,
como si fueran mis hijas.
as if they were my daughters.
Yo no tengo hijas.
I don't have
Dice
daughters.
que Dios no le da hijos, le da sobrinos.
If God doesn't give you daughters or sons, they give you nephews. And God gave me all the women in the world.
Realmente, estos
Truly,
beneficios son
these benefits
increíbles.
are truly incredible.
Pero si hablamos de la
But if we
técnica
talk
de
about the
activación
technique of
de
activation
montaje, nos
of
vamos a dar
G-spot,
cuenta
we're going to
que
realize
finalmente,
that
gracias a
finally,
ella,
thanks to this,
la mujer
women will be able to know where her G-spot is. We're going to get rid of lack of orgasms worldwide. We're going to increase vaginal lubrication, sensitivity, connection with your partner, multi-orgasms guaranteed, and also we're going to push for self-exploration, breaking taboos and traumas, emotional, physical, social. But the most important also is that we can identify any other problem that you may have in the vaginal level. Something that is important too. It rejuvenates the vagina. The consciousness that just like I see my face, I have to see my vagina because it's an important part of my life. To be able to connect with that sensitivity and with my femininity. Just to finish with this message here, it is important to remember that I have to love myself. Love myself. Love myself. 3 veces.
El poder de 3. Amor,
love,
alegría,
happiness,
pureza.
Purity.
Amor,
love,
alegría,
happiness,
pureza.
purity.
Okay.
Okay?
Vagina,
vagina,
corazón,
heart,
cerebro.
Brain.
De esta forma,
in this way,
puede que me pierda en el camino.
I may get lost in the way,
Pero lo hice,
but I did it,
y lo disfruté.
and I enjoyed it.
Así que les invito
So
a que
let me
saboreen la
invite
magia de la
you
vida
to taste life, the sweetness in life,
en un dulce orgasmo.
in a loving orgasm.
Hermoso día, chicos.
Lovely day to you guys.
And can we please give a round of applause for Louise?
Anarchapulco, it's so hype, I'm trying to tell ya. This the event of the year and best vacation ever. Ron Potter, Jeffrey Tucker, just to name a few. Get your tickets, you don't wanna miss it. You should roll through. Talking politics to health and self-improvement to investing. So many things, not one thing. Learn how to live life unchained, yeah. 4 days vibing on the beach, time to connect. All about growth, way more than a conference. This is Anarchapulco, yeah. Let's go.
You ain't seen nothing yet.